Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Love Hour podcast. I'm your host, MrsKevOnStage, and I'm joined by my husband and co-host,
the Kev on Stage.
And we have our very first Love Hour guest.
First Love Hour guest.
That is correct.
They used to live in our neighborhood, but then
and
they got
will
rich.
Actually, be our very last Love Hour guest.
I know.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
It's full circle.
It is full circle moment, and that is none other than Angel and Marcus Tanks.
What's happening?
Thank
They
you for
are
having
married
us.
as well.
Thank you so much. So listen, we're continuing with Love in Action, and all y'all was like, forget the trauma bonds, Melissa. Y'all don't need to be doing trauma bonds. Y'all need to eat something that's good. So I got something that's kind of good to some people.
Kombucha is not good.
Joshua loves kombucha, therefore, I
had kombucha one time. I didn't know what it was.
Not very good.
When I first started All Deaf, people were all over it.
It
I grabbed it.
is a very.
Why he look like he playing?
It is a very LA thing.
I've never had kombucha.
Oh, Marcus.
Kombucha. I've had it once and it was
Tastes like
good.
electricity.
I think it
Tastes like
depends
Navo
on
battery.
the flavor.
Yes.
Okay, so we have 4 different flavors.
I don't think none of these flavors existed when I tried it.
I don't either.
It might be like V8. You know, they got the
Yes.
V8
Yeah.
juice is actually good.
Yes.
It ain't
Jackie
tomatoes
Hunter
no more.
loves kombucha.
Yes, she does. All right, so we have the passion fruit and tangerine.
Okay, that sounds good.
We have bubbly rose, which I'm going to call rosé.
As you should.
We have pink lady apple. And then we have pomegranate.
What exactly is
They all
kombucha
sound
now?
Good.
Kombucha is
Like live probiotics.
you've got a big bright world.
cultures.
Okay, here we go. Your
heard
gut is
cultures
a
and
community.
probiotics.
Okay, but your gut needs kombucha
Ain't
comes
nothing that
in
says it.
with living probiotics and
Yeah.
detoxifying acids to restore body and mind from the inside out. You're sips away from a healthier gut and a happier you. Who doesn't want to be happier,
So
Kevin?
what are you drinking though?
Yeah, it didn't tell. Yeah, let me see one.
It's
Sweet
sweet
tea?
tea. What?
Why does it taste like that?
What is
Organic kombucha. I went straight to ingredients. I don't care what they wrote.
kombucha? Is a fermented, lightly effervescent, sweetened black or green tea drink.
Josh be knowing.
What is probiotic?
Agriculture.
It's always in like yogurt.
Organic kombucha.
What does that mean,
filtered
though?
Water,
Probiotics.
acids from fermented.
Oh.
They help to break
Lactic.
down your food. It's like you have good bacteria that's in the lining
exactly
of
what I
your
think it is.
intestines.
Black tea, green tea. Those are one of the last things on the list.
Well, it should be at the top.
Because they
That's
got
very
all
little.
them flavors and stuff in there. So they don't taste nasty. Fermented stuff don't be tasting
Carbonation.
good.
I hate fermented.
Certified organic.
Yeah.
Does it
Melissa
say
only
shake
gets
it
the
up? It's
best.
definitely given shake it.
Yeah, carbonation
What
to
does
it.
tumblet mean?
Slow.
Yeah, one of these. Yeah.
It's giving wine.
Giving wine.
I want a Marcus mule.
Okay, which I had wait a second.
Hey.
Which one? Which flavor do you want? We're gonna pick ours first because Joshua likes it. Okay, great. Kev, what flavor do you want?
Of all the given, probably passion fruit tangerine.
Okay, great. Can you open this? Tanksley family.
Do you want to do?
I'm gonna do
We're
that
pouring it in the
pomegranate.
cup.
Okay, we're doing pomegranate.
Can't
Okay.
go wrong with
That's what I'm saying.
pomegranate.
Thank you.
Pomegranate is so tart.
Let me see.
Joshua, which one would you like? Bubbly rosé? That's not rosé. Or pink lady
Close it,
apple?
close it.
I did, baby.
It's carbonated?
Yeah,
It has a little bit of carbonation to it.
Let me do it.
Hold it. If you hold it.
pink lady apple. I can't open it.
Okay, so how many episodes has
All right, easy.
Lewis done?
Of the Love Hour, he's actually only
Trying to
done
beat him?
I think I have.
3.
Oh, we tied.
No, he did. He did 3. He
Yeah,
did
he's
me
only done 3, but he's also done
Right then.
Love on Stage, which you guys have done, and he did the Love Hour conference.
We do a whole
Which I did
podcast
too.
with y'all, Angel. We
I
do.
did.
Yeah, this one.
That's why we do the
Well,
the
no.
Bald and Beautiful.
Yeah, but
Well,
she's
no.
an actual
I
co-host.
know.
on
That's
those.
what I'm saying. She's trying to beat.
No, he
him.
said that he had appeared more than any other guest on this show, and I said, no, I think I'm about to beat you, but I think this is my third.
Then you're tied with actually.
Yeah, then I'm
What
tied.
was your second?
When we did the recap of Love in the Pods.
Oh,
I
I took that episode.
It was the 3 of us.
I remember.
Love
We've
in the
done a lot
Pods.
together.
Yeah. Kev, did you pour mine? Oh, here you
I
guys
didn't know
use
you did.
cups.
I thought you wanted bubbly rose.
Oh,
No,
I
I
already
want
used
one.
the cup.
Oh, okay. Then this is mine. Sorry.
Okay.
No, Josh don't have
Yeah.
a cup.
No, he's guzzling it.
Nobody's
From,
tasting bubbly rose.
oh, I'll taste it.
I want to tell you what
Well,
you got.
Joshua wants it.
Well, he
Oh,
didn't
then
already
have
put
it.
his.
Yeah, I don't want to waste it.
I want to.
You
I
can
mean,
have
I'm
what you
willing to
want.
try a little
If
bit
you
of
use a
everything.
cup, then
I don't know.
everybody can try. Can you use a cup, or are you just planning
No,
on putting
Kev,
your
that's
mouth
all.
on it? Okay, there's a clean cup right there.
Oh, you do have a clean cup, Joshua. Sorry, I know. That's my fault.
Yeah, nah, I went through a lot of trouble to find a 5th cup.
Oh, you found it?
Don't we have plastic cups in there?
I don't know. One was
bought a bunch
chipped.
of plastic
I was like, we ain't letting
I
nobody
didn't see
drink out of
them.
it.
I don't know.
I bought
Oh,
a
don't
whole
breathe.
bunch.
Don't. We don't
we
need it
did,
now.
yeah.
We
No,
don't
man,
need it
no,
now.
man, enough out of you.
What do you want from me?
Sit down.
First of all, it smells very good.
This smells like vinegar.
Oh, mine smells amazing.
Mine definitely smells like vinegar.
Yeah.
Mine smells like butt sweat.
So
But
do
we
we
have
do
the
we
same.
drink?
I'm gonna count off. Everybody ready?
Hold on.
Do we just chug it or just?
Oh, you
taste it?
definitely should chug. I'm not going to.
I'm not chugging. Why you gonna say I should chug then?
'Cause that's Melissa.
Okay, here we go.
Hold on.
Oh, are you gonna sneeze?
The fact that you knew that, I didn't know. I thought he was praying. He looked like Jesus over there,
Yeah,
like
he
somebody
does
trying to
with
play
the-
Jesus.
Stop.
It's definitely giving crucified him. They crucified
I
my
mean, it is
Savior.
a serpent on his head.
It is a serpent on my head.
Ah,
Okay, it's gone. It's up
All
there,
right.
but it's not coming out.
I thought you were giving Jesus. You're giving Judas.
Wow.
Whew.
Red too.
I like this smell. It smells acidic though. Okay, here we go.
I like it.
And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not that bad, but I'm not like chasing after it.
Yeah. It's definitely not delicious, but,
It's
It's
electric.
definitely not delicious.
but it's not disgusting.
it's not as bad as I remember. But also, in my defense, I didn't know what I was drinking at first. I thought I was just drinking like a
Bigger gulps, I
like a
taste the
drink.
pomegranate in there.
That-
Apple or something like
Like
yes,
an
and I
apple
didn't
bud.
realize it was carbonated. See, it's already
That's your
working.
gut happy.
She said that's your gut happy.
You know, Kev got a weak taste bud though.
I don't understand why people would drink this. Like, what do you like about it actually that you would drink like the whole
What is
thing?
that?
the fact that it's good.
The tangerine.
I was just gonna say.
So do you like the
only
flavor?
reason.
Yeah.
I don't mind the flavor.
Why don't you taste
It's
like
more that
Kool-Aid?
it's healthy
There's
for
a
you.
company called, I think, QT's, literally the 2 letters.
This-
They have one that's called mango something and the guava,
Ooh, that sounds good.
2 separate ones.
This
This
smells
one literally tastes like,
Smells like juice.
one of those
smells like emergency.
but
You know,
Josh
the little
drinking
powder stuff.
tea, though.
This smells like emergency.
Which one?
Yeah.
Did you get?
Yes.
The one that
Yeah.
Kev has in his, the pomegranate
It
tangerine.
does.
Oh, I can see that.
I'm not pomegranate, passion fruit tangerine.
Oh, Kev, it ain't that bad.
It is that bad, Marcus.
It's not Kool-Aid,
Marcus
but it's not
Anthony.
that bad.
and the reference of me drinking unsweet tea had nothing to do with this.
No,
Give me another
because
swig,
you don't
Kev.
you don't
No, you don't try to
know
sell
how
it.
things taste good. Be in the South asking for unsweet tea. You see the looks they gave you,
that's
Marcus.
blasphemous.
You would be upset.
Who you asked for unsweet tea?
He did in North Carolina.
That is blasphemous.
You
That is
don't
blasphemous.
act. That's dude.
That's
I'm
like
surprised
going
they
to
didn't.
Mexico, Mexican food, and asking for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or something
Somebody
like
said
that.
I'm surprised they didn't
Peach
back
pineapple is
up their
good.
pickup trucks and
That is
pull
a
out guns
correlation,
on you.
Joshua.
I'm gonna be
It's yes, it's disrespectful.
This actually
I'm gonna
smells
be
good.
At a
belching
taco
for the rest
stand.
of the
You
podcast.
could say that's asking for a taco with no taco.
Are we trying?
All right, that's definitely the worst one. So
Oh, you guys
far.
want to try this? Okay, so this is the only reason. This is the limited edition Kit Kat apple pie.
You don't have anything left.
So you just want to eat it?
Yes, just I don't want to do 2 things.
He said, "Angel, why would you?" It was
This
on
one,
the
this
table.
one's not
I
open
thought-
yet.
This actually isn't that
Right,
bad,
so Josh
It is
Kevin.
that bad.
Huh?
Liz, did you just?
No,
really
that's
want
not
that?
open yet.
I know. I was saying Josh could just.
Josh
take
taking it
unless
home.
you-
Oh, you can take.
But they
Oh,
also
because he
need-
actually
people
likes
come to
them.
his
Okay.
house
He
and spend the
likes
night,
them.
Marcus.
Say
Someone
what?
said they call
'Cause he be
kombucha tea
having
beer.
sleepovers.
People go spend the night at Josh's house.
Oh,
There's no telling what happens.
oh wow.
You
Oh,
be having a good time?
people go over there. They
Really?
They go to bed. They wake up. At
And
his
have some
house.
kombucha. There's no
How's
telling
the
what's
He
gonna happen
doesn't
with
know
that
what
body.
he's doing tonight. He could go spend the night in West Hills.
He could.
In West Hills, he
He
could.
could get a hotel room in downtown LA.
You know, it's kind of the beauty of being an adult.
You grown man.
Nobody knows what he does. What are you doing when you park that Tesla?
What you doing, Tommy?
not created this type of narrative.
There's no narrative. Why are you making it bad? Just not knowing what you're doing when you leave here. Do you even go home?
I go straight home.
I bet you do. Maybe you go on the one-on-one the other direction.
This morning, I'm tired, Kevin.
I know y'all did for
Bet
real.
you are.
What do you want from him? I don't understand.
No, man.
Josh
One day
said,
I'm gonna pull up to
Why are
your
you
house.
still drinking this?
I don't know.
One day, would you finally come?
I'm coming, man.
Want some more, baby?
Once the tour's over.
Oh, you still haven't been there, Kev? Wow.
That's crazy, right?
What?
Which one don't you guys?
This one, Joshua's.
Kevin?
Want some of this one too.
Okay.
Angel, I've been on tour, okay?
Where have I been?
They did make
You
time.
didn't go on tour last week, did you? When we went to Ohio, what'd you do? I put the TV show.
But that's not when that's not when I went to the house.
They were already there.
to Black Love.
Okay, so listen, this is where we're at. We are at the end. This is not the last episode. We have one more episode that will just be Kevin and I, but this is our last Love Hour guest. And thank you, sir. And what I would love to do is tell you about Ritual.
Yes.
I just don't want to get deep in the conversation.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So, Ritual is a multivitamin company that you know and trust. Why? Because they've been partners with the Love Hour podcast pretty heavily through the tenure of the Love Hour. And I've actually talked about them on my Instagram. Not only are they a multivitamin company, but they just recently came out with a protein powder, which we all know can feel very intimidating because protein powders are generally gross. They're chalky. They have no flavor.
disgusting.
And they're just the worst.
So I don't be healthy because of the taste.
But what Ritual did was teamed up with some scientists from Harvard and reimagined protein from the ground up and inside out, from how it's made to who it's for and why it's needed. The result is a delicious plant-based protein offered in 3 premium formulations for distinct life stages and unique nutrition needs, all made with the same high standards approach and commitment to traceability that Ritual is known for. We all know the importance of establishing a ritual or a routine in the morning, whether that's getting up, maybe reading your Bible, maybe setting your intentions for the day, taking your multivitamin and taking a protein shake and starting off your day. It just sets the tone for the day, and how you start often is how you end. So it's really just really important to establish that routine. They have a very flexible subscription service with ease of incorporating into your daily rituals, because all you have to do is add water, shake, and go on about your business sipping. You deserve to know what you're putting in your body and why. With one-of-a-kind visible supply chain, you'll always know what's in our formulas, their formulas, where the ingredients come from, and why they are included. So why not shake up your ritual to make trying something new less scary? Ritual offers a money-back guarantee if you're not 100% in love. Plus, my listeners will get 10% off during your first 3 months. Just visit ritual.com/lovehour and to add essential protein today. That's ritual.com/lovehour.
Love Hour.
Thank you so much, Ritual, for sponsoring today's podcast. Okay, so this is where we're at. About maybe 2 years ago. When did I initially do my podcast episode with you? 2018?
2018 is when you did my podcast. 2019 is when I did yours. Yeah.
So 2018 is when I did Angel's Mommy Confessions on her channel, which it comes up every now and again, which my makeup that day was so good.
It was, girl. You was hilarious.
I don't know how I did it, and I cannot recreate it, but that's not the point here. Anyway, we were talking about starting off because I was leaving my job and all of that. And I thought now would be a good time to talk about what we have accomplished from that time to now and what we think about the future. And it's going to tie really nicely because I'm going to start with something. I'm going to go through kind of some changes that have happened.
Okay.
But it's going to tie really nicely. I've been reading for my book club, the Will Smith book. It's amazing.
Oh, I've worked with Will Smith. I've met him.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Who? What's his name?
Will Smith.
What's
he
his
do?
full name though?
Willard Carroll Smith Jr.
Not
Junior.
It's not Junior.
Just Willard Carroll Smith.
It's the second.
the second.
His son never wanted him to be junior.
Correct. His dad. Correct.
Oh, this guy has a book.
Yes.
Tell us more.
I just didn't know if I brought it up before.
Oh no, definitely didn't know that. Fun fact.
Well, I gotta look
in case
him
you
up.
didn't know.
Willard Smith.
Yeah, Willard. It's a really great time actually to kind of go through his accolades. What do we have here?
Oh,
Come on, hardcover.
my
His
good friend's
face
book.
looks familiar.
Yeah, he does look familiar.
He looks really familiar.
Yeah.
He has big ears like I do, but
That's
mine don't
my
stick
friend.
out like that.
Love it. Josh, are you reading
It's a
it?
solid book.
Are you enjoying it?
They used to
It's
stick
very
out.
good.
People used to
It's
talk
very,
about
very
it.
good. Oh, this is fantastic seeing you come on here. Okay, so it's very, very good. And he talks about some things that I think that we can talk about might hopefully garner great conversation. But before we do that, since 2018, we have become podcast co-hosts,
Yes.
We have.
Yeah.
comedy touring buddies,
Oh my God, yes.
the creation of the home team, and Marcus has left his job. Actually, low key in 2018.
I
I
was
did
going to say,
too.
so did you since 2018.
So all of
Wait, were you
that,
working full time?
I was I must have been almost coming off.
I get to interview you right as you came. You
Yeah.
had just came off because you were like, I'll be leaving my job, so then I'll have free time. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot that's happened.
That's
I
a
quit
lot.
my job
That
since
was the
2018
first podcast I was a guest on. I've never been on a podcast.
Oh,
Melissa
for
always
loving-
makes sure that she brings the
yeah,
husband
one
or
of the
wife
things
over.
that was
Because I was shocked. I
really-
said, wait, they want me too?
Yeah, one of the things that's always been really important for me, specifically on this platform, and being often, not often because it doesn't change, but being the wife of the star is recognizing that as the spouse, you're often forgotten in the shuffle. And so I've always
Preaching to the
always made a point to invite the spouse. Would you say?
So you preaching to the choir.
Yes,
like-
I have always made a point to invite a husband, even if like maybe I know you through. I've always made a point to invite both, especially because I'm talking about love. Like you
Chance
can't just
said the same
represent you.
thing. He was like, they don't usually pick me. He was like, man, you Chance. And
Yeah, I
then
need,
we felt like
I
y'all
need the
was best
both.
of
Y'all
friends.
gonna tell the love story. I need you both, okay?
Both of you.
So those are all of the things that have happened. And as we are closing out 2021 and looking into 2020, I ask you guys, with everything that you have accomplished, what is your definition of success?
We were just talking about this on the car ride back.
I'm glad we're taking a minute to talk about accomplishments because that's something that we touched on last episode of the youth thing as well.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
ahead, Marcus. What does
You want me
success
to
mean
start?
to you?
To me, it's all relative to the person.
Okay.
It's success, and I don't remember exactly how he worded it, so I'm not about to slaughter it up. But George Washington Carver has one of my favorite quotes talking about success. I had it memorized, but I don't exactly remember what it was. But basically, for me, success, it all depends on where you started from and where you ended up. It's like you take, that's why, for one, I love my people. I love black people because we are all starting at a specific deficit that a lot of people aren't starting from. So I look at, a kid that came up, dirt poor and being black and making it to a corporate level more successful than Bill Gates. Because Bill Gates didn't start down there.
I love that.
They had a lot more obstacles to overcome. Not to say he didn't have obstacles, and not taking anything from Bill Gates. However, when you're starting in a valley versus starting on flat land, it's a little more. So that's just my take on success.
It was very good.
Marcus.
Is this it? I was looking up the quote for him.
Nah, that ain't it.
Okay.
I would try to say it, but it's I would screw it up.
And
right
you
now.
sure it's George Washington Carver?
I'm almost positive it says something about it's not a success is not measured by the man's accomplishments, but by something about where the man began his journey versus where he is going. Something like that.
Yeah, I don't see it. Success for me is measured by whatever I decide the goal is. And I have learned to make my goals achievable so that I can have a sense of success. We were actually talking about this on the car ride after we landed and we're headed back to our homes. I was saying I had a certain amount of goals set for like what did I wanted to do brand deal wise in 2021. And I was like, and I surpassed my goal. So for me, I felt very successful. I have made goals before that were lofty in the sense of there was no way that I knew how to put actionable plans in place for me to achieve it. It was going to be like, well, the Lord is going to descend and he's going to make this happen. Where as I've become a better businesswoman, I've realized, okay, if you want to actually feel a sense of success, put goals in place that you do have to put effort into it. But if you actually achieve A, B, C, and D, you will actually hit the goal that you're trying to make. So that's success for me.
I love that. Kevin?
For me, I've been trying to live in gratefulness lately, and I think I would like to define success for myself as being able to do what I want to do for a living and create opportunities for others. I think a lot of times I get so caught up in like the next thing that I don't often be like, dang, you did this thing, until I'm looking back, right? Because I wouldn't say complaining, but, I've been tired on the last, a couple legs of the tour. And I was thinking in my room by myself when I was alone and naked, I said, man, you really are like bummed. I'm just tired and whatnot. And then I thought back to Kevin at Boeing, which was some of my lowest moments in outside of being completely fired. But there was a little bit of freedom there because I was able to create content and hang with the boys. But at Boeing, I just felt my soul being sucked out of me every day. And I was like, you would be waking up and being at your desk at 5 o'clock. What Boeing Kevin would do if he thought touring comedian Kevin, who is traveling the world doing stand-up and selling out all over the United States, like almost, how dare you be complaining? Even though you are rightfully tired, like think about how refreshed you were to hate your job every second of every day. Yeah. So given the option, I'd take 3 hours of sleep from a plane than 9 hours if I had to go to Boeing. But for me, I would like to equate success not to money or to accolades or anything like that, because you can't really control that, but to being able to just create content and do what I would love and have the health and joy of my family. Those are very much more important to me than like Forbes. Well, I can't do 30 under 30 now, but 40 under 40 or being on Sunset Boulevard, things like that, because those are very fleeting things. Yeah. I've known a lot of people who've been on Sunset Boulevard or Times Square, but I take value in Thanksgiving. My kids are there, my family's there, we're all having a good time. That is success for me. And I try to make my decisions based on that future, right? I want my children to be able to come back to the house in 20 years and bring their wives back or their dogs, wherever part of the life they're in, to feel comfortable saying, I'm going to my mom and dad's house for Thanksgiving this year. That to me is success, is keeping that intact.
What is so interesting is, I need to put this on my lips, hold on. One of the things that Will Smith said in the book, which is phenomenal, by the way, he said that if you are married to, it triggered me. So dreamers, I need your input. Okay. He said, if you are married to a dreamer, everything comes second to the dream.
Why would he say that?
What he was saying was this.
I got to talk to Will.
That his vision of success was, no different than what we've given here. His vision of success also included, to Kevin's point, his family, a wife, his kids, the beautiful white picket fence with the golden doodle, and the apple pie sitting out. Like he had this like perfect, and he's talked about this before, but like he's had like this perfect envision of like, this is what success looks like to me, in addition to having and being the biggest box office hit in the world. Yeah. When he got it, it came with sacrifices, and those sacrifices often were at the expense of his family.
I think he can say that as a man. I don't think
Tell me more.
I don't think that's true I've heard people say that about artists, but it was also a man who said it. That when you are married to an artist, you know that you come second to the art. I definitely had my dreams deferred to be a in-tune, tapped-in mother. Like I completely was like, everything else comes second. I feel like now I'm in a place.
So aren't you the dreamer though?
I am. That's why I'm
disagreeing.
Yeah. I think he's saying that. I think he's not realizing he is walking in maleness in some of that statement. That everything comes second to his dream. Where for me, it was very easy for me to be like, well, all right, the kid is here. So this is the priority. And when I can fit my dream in, I'll find places that I can fit my dream in. I feel like now, however, it looks a little different just because my partner is in a different stage in his life that allows him to support my dream in a different way. Where before, I mean, us being out here is a part of my dream. So I completely see that as, but even while we were out here, there were times where I had to like put that thing on pause, was working for my mother, not working as an actress because it allowed me to be at home with my child. Even me getting into voiceover work, it allowed me to be pregnant and not worry about providing income. It wasn't that it was because it was my dream to do ADR. No. So I think a lot of that has to do with men, I feel like, are given the freedom to choose career over family without as much hassle. Where for me, choosing dream over family would, I think, have, I don't know if it would have tore our family apart. I think it would have had a lot to do with how you felt about it.
Yeah. I mean, because I'm not the traditional dreamer as I'm stepping into this new, and it was Booker T. Washington, by the way, not George Washington Carver.
That's on your record where you are.
Yeah. But I'm not like, I didn't start my whole dreaming process until probably 2017, 2018. Lightly touching on it. Now I'm like diving into it, but to look at it on that level of, I'm definitely not going to have my family sacrifice anything over my dream because we're already making things happen. And I don't feel like that would be necessary. Now, my dreams may not be as big as, the things that he had going on earlier on in his career. But to say, I don't think I would be the one to put my family second to a dream.
But you're not in the relationship. You are becoming a dreamer, but
Yes.
you are not the like dreamer.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was that more
were you-
logical.
Would you be the one feeling like the dream was sacrificed, or he would
feel like the dream came first.
came first?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I'll let you ponder. I'll let you answer. But before we do, all of these questions are based off of Will Smith's book, memoir called Will.
Nice.
It is on Audible. You guys know I probably have 3 books that I recommend you listen to over reading the physical copy.
Yep.
The first one, Michelle Obama. Becoming. The second one has been taken over, and that is Will Smith's Will. The production value of this book is an actual production.
Oh, really?
Yes.
It's got music?
There
and
is
stuff?
music.
Ooh.
There is excerpts from when he talks about news articles. They pull that into the audio book.
Oh, nice.
He does the impersonation of when he meets Muhammad Ali. Like, it is a full-on experience.
Ooh, I
and
like this.
It is so good to hear the story of Will Smith chronologically. You understand, like, a lot of it, some of the stuff I'm like, whoa, that happened, I didn't even know, but a lot of it it's just kind of different to hear it in order. And then Will Smith makes a lot of sense to me. It's just really, and I wish I could find, I'm going to actually look for like some sort of audio of his father, because I'm thoroughly convinced this man talks just like his father. The way he describes his father, there's no way he doesn't talk like his father. All of that to say, his book is available. Oh, I didn't give you the third book. The third book is Kevin Hart's book.
You have raved about that.
I can't think of the name of it, child. Let me tell you better. Hold on. Kevin Hart's book was called... No, was it? I can't make this
one.
up?
I can't make this up.
Okay.
With the puppy on his head.
Yes. Those are 3 audio books that 100% are worth listening to. They just are very fantastical books. Highly recommend. And Audible right now, you can not only get their audiobooks, so they have podcasts, they have music, and they have audiobooks. Highly recommend. You picking up the Will Smith book, Will, on Audible, and then make sure you join my book club, because we're going to have some discussions about it, child, because he talk about co-parenting and all the things. Ooh, child, it's going to be very good. Visit audible.com/love hour. Or text love hour to 500 500. Again, that's audible.com/love hour.
Love hour.
Or text love hour to 500 500.
500.
Let me do Shipstation. The holidays are among us. We have these cups that we need to sell.
I
Yes.
was about to ask you where those cups were.
We gonna be releasing these things too as soon as I get to the person.
I think that's what we're waiting on.
Yes.
We're going to do it all together. And who do we use when we sell our own merch?
Shipstation.
Station.
Only station for me.
Come on, sing it.
Shipstation.
Come on.
Shipping gonna be easy.
Yeah.
Shipstation is an online integrated platform that allows you to ship, whether it's from your own website, Etsy, Amazon, whatever. It pulls all the information into one place and allows you to ship, print labels, and it gives you the best deals on your shipping, whether that's through USPS, FedEx, UPS. Did I already say that? All of the major shipping companies, and they're going to give you a great deal. So it doesn't matter where you're selling. If you want to make an extra few coins over the course of the holiday season and you need a place, you don't want to pigeonhole yourself because maybe you don't have a good enough or a big enough platform on your own. So you put it on Etsy where people go, because I be buying stuff from folks on Etsy I never heard of if it's cute enough. That's a good way to do it. So what you're going to do is use my offer code LOVE to get a 60-day free trial. That's going to take you through the holidays, honey. Hear me what I said. Just enough time to handle the holiday rush. Just go to shipstation.com, click at the microphone at the top, and enter code LOVE. That's Shipstation. Make ship happen. Very good. Kevin, what are your thoughts? How's your dream? Has everything else come second to your dream?
Is that a question for you?
No, you're the dreamer of the
Yes,
relationship.
you're a dreamer.
Here's the truth.
Tell me more.
I think in my mind, everything else doesn't come second, but I think in actuality, it probably does. Right? In my mind, that looked like, don't go to the movies, guys, without me. Wait till I get home. Why are you guys watching this? I'll be home this day. Really
Don't cook.
Don't have cinnamon rolls. I don't apologize for that one actually at all. I'm still upset about that. I'm boycotting cinnamon rolls in protest of you all.
You shouldn't do that.
They're
That's
out.
taking it too far.
No,
We're
they're out.
taking it way too
They're
far.
out.
No.
I might not ever
boycott
get a
'em.
cinnamon roll again until we get to do a
All
bake-off.
right, now you're just being dramatic. You're
you-
definitely.
I
gonna
really
eat
have
some
not
more.
eaten.
I will
I'm
send
not.
some to your house.
You
My
act like it's a
point
bad
is-
thing to take out a couple other things.
No, Angel. Now I'm going to eat them just because you said that. I'm boycotting my previous boycott.
I'm boycotting my previous boycott.
One thing I always connected with Will Smith about, although I didn't have his money or height or physical fitness, the golden cage.
Yes.
Buying his wife that house and getting her that gift of her that he thought was good without her input or desire.
You know what he said about it?
What'd he say?
Y'all need to listen to this. He said that house was a down payment on resentment.
Ooh.
Have you ever done something?
Jesus.
That
Have you
stings,
ever
Joshy.
done something and you and your spouse were not on the same page and you did it anyway? And the fruit of that decision was resentment.
The Hondo Accord.
Oh, I would have to really think.
That was a down payment on resentment for sure.
Yes, he definitely made a down payment with that gun.
What gun?
One
Oh,
of them.
he told us
It's
to
one
go
of the many.
One of the many?
Oh yeah, he be making.
I got clarity on all the other ones, but that one was the one I snuck past.
He was like,
Was the dog in retro to get him back?
I don't think to get him back, but yeah, that's probably a good resentment one. NMR,
The whole baby.
the whole time.
This is the funny thing is that part of this is that people see the dream. They see where you are. They see where we are. They see, and they don't realize or understand all of the sacrifices that come along with it in the support of
Yes.
the dream, like in propping this up. When you were talking about talking about when you were talking about being present for being a present mother, you went out on tour. Amar's much still younger than your older children.
Yes.
I can only imagine what that feels like in comparison to what you were able to do with the other boys. That's a sacrifice. That's a sacrifice.
Yeah.
For you, when you're talking about the cinnamon rolls, it's not a sacrifice, but I understand the idea.
It is a sacrifice.
Tell me more.
Fun stuff is happening.
How is it a sacrifice?
I'm not having fun. I'm in a hole in the wall green room in Minnesota.
So you're
the audience
selfish.
stinks. I'm in the back where they stock plates. And you guys are the house is warm and you're having fun. And I'm having bad show after bad show.
What you said?
And this probiotic is making me burp. Ever since I drank this, I can't stop
So you-
burping. I threw it in my mouth a couple minutes ago.
When we talking about tour. So hold
My
on.
breath stinks.
So you
because
had to
of
leave
this.
those awful green rooms and go stay in a Motel 6?
That part was nice, but at the moment you guys were doing that thing, I wasn't
part
in
was
my
nice.
hotel room. But it doesn't matter how nice the hotel room is if you're sleeping alone. Okay, we stayed at some nice hotels. Who cares?
Home team was sleeping alone?
No,
Yes,
you
we
guys
were.
have the kids though. The whole nuclear family
Really?
is there.
You want to switch?
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
I would. Given the
Go,
circumstances.
Angel.
You know, the thing that makes me cool with Amar, with like leaving him, is that he's getting something none of his brothers had, which is a very present father. That is something that makes me not have any guilt about it.
That's beautiful.
I'm like, he is getting something. I mean, they're getting it too because they're there, but like Amar's relationship with Big Marcus is going to be completely different than the other 3 boys because his career did not allow for him to do what I did. I was showing up to everything. It didn't matter. Things they weren't asking me to show up to, I was there. Where now he might not show up to all those
I'm
things.
definitely not.
But like Amar it won't be like the boys all have memories of me showing up to school and being at everything or being at home with me from baby to like 3 years old. Amar will have him in those memories. So that makes me be like, that is very few people have
Yeah,
those
that was
type
one of those
memories.
things, especially when I was stepping away from my job. Once I started like from the gut hating having that job,
Yeah.
it was like heartbreaking to have the kids ask me, it's like, Daddy, so you have to go to work tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, I gotta go work tomorrow.
My son did that. Joe, he is the family
He is.
boy. Isaiah
He be acting like he's not, but he
can.
is.
I don't know if a child could care less if it was humanly possible to act like they cared less. But we came home this morning. I think we got him around 12:30, something like that, right? 12:30.
gone.
Oh, you weren't gone. You were gone. You weren't home. Anyway, by 2:30, or maybe it was 12. Anyway, by 2:30, we had to come here, right? And Joe was like, "Man, you're leaving again? You just got home."
Yeah, Joe.
And I was like,
Make you feel terrible.
Yeah.
Huh?
I mean, and he guilt tripped McGee. Now, the interesting thing is, he doesn't necessarily want you to do anything with him or be near him. Just being in the home,
Yes.
though.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to know if I come in your room, what y'all doing in here?
Sit
Watching
down
TV?
somewhere.
That's
All right. You're here,
Big
though.
Marcus. I mean, little Marcus.
No,
No, that's
that's
me.
this
Oh.
big one. He's like,
I'm
you
out-
going out the
I'm
house
looking-
for something? Yes.
I'm out in the garage doing, you ain't gotta be out in the garage, but
Be
sit
in
your
the
ass
house.
at home.
I can feel you in the
Yes.
you know,
We ain't gotta be singing lullabies and all that and karaoke. No, but just be at home.
No,
Sit down
no,
somewhere.
This
Me.
one. Now, Amar has here recently started to show me like where I'll be like, oh, I have to run and do an errand, and I'll give him to the nanny, and he'll be like, I mean, he'll do the slow cry, like not that I'm throwing a tantrum, but my heart is broken, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Good.
You'll be all right. And then I still leave. But I do feel I do feel hurt because I'm just like, oh, he knows I'm mama.
Yeah.
He was on my lap
You're right,
from
right.
the time I got home until the time I left.
today.
Yes.
That's one thing I am grateful for. I have a lot of years of a lot of time spent with my kids. Right, my career didn't take off until my children were almost. Zay was a teen,
Yeah. At
and
least.
Joe was close.
How's he, 15,
2018, Joe was what?
It's about right. 13.
No,
No.
He was
6,
10.
he was
2013.
10.
Thank you.
He was 10. I can't remember the year he was born in.
I was like 26, 13. I don't
So
know.
there was a long periodically time that I wasn't going nowhere. And then there was a couple years where I only had shows on Saturday. So they would drop me off on the airport on Saturday morning and they picked me up on Sunday morning. It wasn't until we went on the Real Comedians in 2018 that it was a lot. And then by 2019, we realized both of us cannot tour like this at this pace.
Yeah.
Jojo was like, look,
I'm not doing
I
this no
don't
more.
care.
Yeah.
You're going to have, somebody's got to be here.
Right.
So Melissa ended up sacrificing and staying, but it is not easy. That's why I was talking about this today about balance and how like, yeah, I was talking about how it's a myth. Like I'm coming home from a tour that was sold out in Tampa. It was great shows, made good money, had a good time, all that. And I'm flying back on the first flight home. But the first flight home from Tampa gets here at 10:30 or whatever. Joe's game's at 8:00. So by doing one dream, I cannot do this. I cannot be a present father. So the exchange for that is I go to every soccer practice. And those are like my games. But you know the difference between a game and a practice. But at least he can look out on, Monday and Wednesday and I be there.
That was like Marcus's play. I showed up to that dress rehearsal like, listen, this is what I got for you because I ain't going to be here for the actual show.
Yeah. So my question is, what is the first thing you want to accomplish in 2022? We talked about a lot here and also like a lot of nothing, but also a lot.
I know exactly what I want to accomplish. I want to put out this scripted show that I've worked on for a long time. Even before the app. You remember?
Yeah.
I was working on this, pitching. This is the show that the Wahite middle-aged gentleman said black people wouldn't get. This is the one. This has been passed on by various amount of people, and I'm making it. And it's not even so much as to like get back at them, although that is a part of it, and they will pay. It's like I want to
hold on. For anyone who reads the book, the Will Smith book, please know Kevin is Will Smith.
Why you said that?
Oh, if you read this book, oh my goodness.
I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna listen to it on Audible.
He is competitive like you.
This is why we get along
Most
so well.
of Jada's responses, I'm like, oh, girl, I understand. Also, as an aside, the hate mail that the interwebs has decided is deserved upon Jada Pinkett Smith is undeserved.
Well, why they hate her?
And you can fight me on it.
Every quote for what they have y'all seen
The
the last 2
hashtag
months?
poor Will Smith. It's
I didn't
just
even know that was
entirely
a
too much for
hashtag.
me. It's
never seen
just
that.
no, I made that up.
Oh, okay. I was like, I didn't know.
No.
No.
Stuff on the internet.
But just the idea that people feel bad for Will Smith is really what the sentiment is.
yeah.
That people
Do you
feel
connect with her
bad.
on that?
This is the thing. And child, I've been thinking about this today because I've been listening to this. Hold on, we're gonna go on a tangent for just
Go
a moment.
ahead,
Excuse
girl.
me.
on your
T.
tangent, girl.
It's your love hour.
Yeah, love hour.
This is the problem, people of America and the world. Any inclination of a good man dismisses any complaint of a woman.
You so right. Come on.
That is
Come on,
accurate.
Melissa.
So you see the idea of Will Smith, this mega movie star, and he provides and he seems to be a present father. What woman wouldn't kill to be by this man? Especially if you are single and you in these dating streets and the men that you have in the pool are garbage. And then you look at Jada as if she's undeserving because she's complaining and wanting him to show up better for her.
You better speak on that, Melissa.
Who that feel like, Liz?
When I tell you, literally today, I was in the car like, I understand Will Smith because Kevin is Will Smith. And I understand Jada and the responses that he talks about when he bought her a house and he called
That current
it
one.
is that
Golden
one?
Lake or something?
The Lake Her or something?
Yeah, that's what
The
it is.
compound?
Yes, the compound.
Lake Her.
He was talking about how he bought it. It was this grand gesture of love. And she was like, I don't want that. It's not what I want. And I could only think about the responses people gave me when you bought me them shoes.
Shoes. The story of the shoes.
And people thinking.
That's our money to his money, by
Yes,
the way.
oh yeah.
I bought a compound.
He's buying
Louboutins.
correct. I
Louboutins. How do
mean,
you
this
pronounce
compound had like 5 properties on it, a lake, like all this acres and acres and acres and acres. Ain't nobody got all that money, but it was a pair of shoes. But the idea is this grand gesture of love that I say is for you.
Yeah.
And it's not. And the nerve
of you niggas.
the nerve to be upset about it. That is the frustration. That is the unfortunate position that women put women in.
Yeah.
So you sit here in silence. He said this woman cried for 45 days straight.
When he bought that house?
No, I don't know the exact time period, but he said she would wake up in these crying spells, and she did it for 45 days straight.
She was Noah.
Oh, Jesus.
And I said to myself, people at this point only it's her because she over here doing this and she listen. And I'm not excusing entanglement behavior. Okay, let's be clear.
But they was out there both having entanglements.
and that's
He done
my
said
thing.
that many times, and
I'm
nobody
like,
seems to listen.
I don't understand how the blame has been squarely and solely placed on her shoulders.
It's just her boo was the only one who spoke out. Will got several boos that could have been like,
Stop
That
it.
kept their
Your
mouth
doggone
shut.
mouth. Don't you ever open your mouth?
He did.
to me. Will,
He got them swarming.
I was listening and I'm just like, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. And I for women, I think we do it to other women.
absolutely. Absolutely. Men don't be caring. It is definitely women, and especially women who are in positions that they don't want to be in. And they're like, if I was in that, I'd be happy, grateful. I'd do this and that. And it's just like, but you're not.
Be over there miserable on all them acres.
And that's
with
my
nobody
problem.
To love
It's
you.
like
with nobody to love.
you fall in love with the idea of what you think is happening without knowing the intricacies of what's actually happening.
Say it again, Liz.
People aren't unhappy because you're freaking married to Will Smith. Like, do you not think she would want to be happy being married to
Yeah.
Will Smith?
Yeah.
But they see, Will Smith. She knows Willard.
Yes.
That's the
Exactly.
Carol.
difference. That's the
Smith the
difference.
second.
That's why I be trying to tell them. All these women want to be married to me. Y'all don't know me, man. It's Kevin who you're married to, and that nigga be tripping. He got trauma. His real dad wasn't around.
Well, and that's the thing.
Middle child.
We take away the
Don't
idea
lotion.
of humanity.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
reality is, Will Smith got trauma too. I'm gonna do the ad. Hold on.
Stop showing her the ad, Joshua.
Oh shit! What?
Oh, now you're giving us a little. He doesn't want you to talk as a woman.
Why y'all do that to
You see how they
Why are
do?
they cussing this? Anyway, that was my rant.
That was a good rant.
Don't get no lotion.
Come on,
Come
man. You don't care about black men and their skin.
Don't let him do that.
Black
Don't
men
let
should
him
care
do
before
that.
they leave
Don't
the
let him
house.
do that.
That's
Oh, now they should care, Marcus.
Yeah.
You know what? I got nobody on my side here. Stage crew, what y'all say? Get up to the comments.
They gonna hate me. I know I'm gonna get some hate on that. I really don't care actually
I
because
thought
I'm
that
ending
was
this
great.
podcast, and so the freedom that I feel.
The freedom.
The freedom that I feel, because in reality, I think it is a sad state for women to not humanize this Will Smith because he is a movie star, because
Right.
he is a TV star, because he's all
Physically
of these
fit.
things. Yes, and we don't allow him the grace to realize that he's flawed.
Yeah.
To realize that he came with baggage.
We don't allow her the
and trauma and all. No, yes, but what I'm saying is to validate her, we need to understand that
Yeah.
he came with flaws and trauma and
Yeah.
all of this baggage.
Yeah, people
And he
are
came
judging him by the machine he created. That is Will
Bingo.
Smith. We were talking
I
about
was
it
just
on the
gonna say that
podcast,
exact
and I
thing.
was like, "Oh yeah, like Kev on stage," and Kevin was like, "What?"
Tell me more, but before we do that, we need to talk about
Don't tell her
movement because the
nothing else.
holiday. No, I want to hear this. The holiday seasons are around the corner, which means you're probably doing what? Buying presents. And if you need a present for your partner or your mama, your daddy, your cousin, your brother, your sister, Movement is the place to go. They are the original brand to break all the rules, started by two college dropouts who didn't want to overpay for a nice watch. Now they're bringing you the sleekest, most quality gifts of the season with hundreds of watches, blue light glasses. Joshua has blue light glasses, and they're amazing, and they're from Movement.
Yes, they are.
Sunnies and fine jewelry styles to choose from. Stuff your stockings, impress your family, wow your partners, or treat yourself with the perfect gift from Movement. Kev, do you remember the one that you have?
Yes.
I have a pretty white porcelain watch. I call it porcelain, but it's this white sleek watch that has gold. All the little buttons and everything are gold on it.
And I got the
pretty.
element. I got the element, and I wore it to our all white party, and it. Oh my God, it hit so clean. When you put it on, when I would be dressing.
That's I wore it to the all white party for Melissa's birthday too.
Yeah, because I like to wear my watches with my outfit. And the Movement, they give you that sleek thing. It dress up the whole outfit. It's really what it does.
Yeah.
The element is the cream de la creme.
And their watches start at just $95. Movement has clean, minimal designs and quality products, which means that they aren't dated. I hate me and Kev were just talking about this the other day, houses, and you can tell that they're from a certain time period. I hate that because then they're dated. You want things that are classic and will be long lasting and they're timeless. And that's what Movement is going to give you. Movement has sold over 2 million watches in over 160 countries. Be the big winner this holiday season with a gift from Movement. Go to movementmvmt.com/love.
Love.
That's movementmvmt.com/love.
Love.
Join the movement. Thank you so much for sponsoring today's podcast. Continue.
I wasn't talking.
Yeah, I was saying that there was that similarity of this machine that he's this like a protective coat that Will was saying he built for himself. That is Will Smith, and I was like, oh yeah, it's just like Kev on Stage.
Say more though. Say more.
There
say
is
less.
this machine, or I don't know what to call it, that Kevin has built to kind of protect Kevin Allen Fredericks. And so there are certain things that Kev on Stage is not going to do, say, allow to be shown in the public light in order to protect himself. So people begin to think that Kev on Stage is a full representation of Kevin
sure.
Fredericks,
Got you.
where it's actually a refined, curated image that he's created to protect himself.
I understand.
The golden child.
And he was
Well, I'm
like,
saying
He don't like
it
this.
was so funny because he
All
had a
kinds of stuff
realization
like
at the
that.
time. He was like, I'm gonna have to talk to my therapist about this.
I ain't talked to her either.
Do you
There ain't
feel
nothing
like
wrong with
as
that,
a
though.
brand
Like,
you've
you-
had to do, go ahead, say your
No, I was
question.
going to say is I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that, of having the character that you present to the public because you're on such a massive platform to protect the individual
Yeah.
Kevin Fredericks. There's nothing wrong with that.
I agree. I've been saying there's nothing wrong with it for a long time. I don't know what the whole hullabaloo is.
The hullabaloo.
Do you feel like you've had to curate a the word I'm going to use is disassociation from Angel the person and Angel the brand?
No, Angel don't care about nothing.
Yeah, like he just said.
Yeah, ain't that's who you see.
That is that
who,
chick,
who
Angel.
she is.
But that, I think, in its way, is a protection for me. Is
Say
that
more.
I don't, you're not going to get surprised by me. You already know what it is. There won't be a lot of, oh, you are a hypocrite. Well, yes, I am, but I also already told you that too. So, like, I think for me, I don't want to set people up to say, I caught you. See, you said you
Got
don't
it.
do this. No, I already did it in front of you. I actually recorded it, posted it. You liked it, and I appreciated it. Thank you. So for me, that's more of a protection than trying to keep up a facade. That's just too tiring for me.
Got it.
Yeah, that was one of the things before I even stepped into the whole thing of being in front of a camera and doing all this stuff. I was telling Angel, like, I'm too private for that. Like, I don't want people to know me. She was like, but you can, a lot of people have a character that they create for in front of the camera. And then as I saw her doing her thing and being around more people, I thought the same thing. I was like, that's too much. People gonna get me. And that way there will never be any surprises. It's like, well, Marcus said this, and people that know me be like, of course he said that.
Right.
Yeah.
How
Okay,
do you
you were saying something about, you were asking the question about 2022, top of the
Correct.
year, and I didn't hear yours.
Of the first thing, no, I'm just hosting.
Oh, she's like, I don't want to say.
Yeah, I don't know yet. I just thought they good.
Oh,
good question.
what
for
you
guys.
wanna
Yeah, what do you want to
accomplish?
accomplish in 2022? The first
I'm
one of
going
the
next.
first things you want to accomplish.
First thing
in
I'm
2022.
going to accomplish is Angels always ask me, like, what do you want to do? And I've been saying, like, I love cars. That's what I love doing.
I love
So I'm going to dive
Mostly
into
old
that.
school is
Like,
Mustangs.
Shut
up.
Kevin.
I like old school Mustang. I want a white one with green stripes. I want to
run
put
him
them on
over in it.
myself. Okay, racing stripes. I'd love to just get in there with my hands and make a car.
I was wondering when he was going to run out. Like,
Yes.
I'm like, no, let him talk.
Let him finish.
I want a
Nah.
Hemi and a chassis.
Or what?
Chassis?
And a
Chassis?
what?
Chassis?
It was two
How do
things that you
pronounce it? A Hemi?
Why you
Fuel
let him
injection.
go?
Because this is, I'm enjoying it.
Gasket.
Yeah. Gasket right under the hood. But no, I'm going to dive into that, like, full on top of, like, the father influencer thing. But the father thing is, like, it's what I have to be. Not even have to be. That's what I enjoy doing. But it's a part of me. But the whole car influencer, like, I'm like, okay, I see what other people are doing. It's possible. I love driving cars. I love talking about cars. That's like 2022. That's my first and foremost, like, one of my priorities is that. Then I got a second and third and fourth. But
Just
What are all
the
of them?
first one. No, just the first one because
Just
I
the
got one
first
last question.
Mine is just getting our business structure completely set up so
and
that
that's part of it.
so that I got a couple of other streams of income that I want to start, but I need to get the structure that we have together. So even over top of content and stuff, content is easy for me to make. So that's not something that I'm really like, oh, I've got to create this type of content. I want our business structure set up in a way that it makes it easier for us to create what we want to create and pivot when necessary. Right now, if we had to pivot hard, I'd be like, I don't know which direction we're going. So just getting us operating more like a business is what I really want to have my boss hat on next year and not feel as though I'm doing things by the seat of my pants.
Got it.
Yeah.
Structure and organization.
Yeah, that's number one for me next year.
Hurry up so I can do what I want to do.
I have one last question.
Okay.
All right, this is it. Maybe two. Will Smith talks about the difference between desire and purpose. And he talks about desire being something that's insatiable, selfish, and personal. And your purpose, it gives. And because it gives, that's what will keep you, it will allow you to recede when you need to, but you'll also always be motivated to do it because it's your purpose. Do you think you have found your purpose, or are you operating in desire? Let it sit for a minute.
I was
Okay, answer.
I was thinking about purpose. I've been thinking about it for a while over the last couple of years, and it's somebody online, I don't know who it is, so forgive me if I don't attribute it to you. They were saying your purpose, you don't know at first, it's revealed to you over time.
Oh, I believe that.
And I think that for me, my purpose is to create opportunities for others to showcase their talent. And the reason I think that is because when I was at All Def, my secret desire, I thought, was I'm going to use this to elevate myself and I'm going to sneak into the back, blah, blah, blah. But I found out what I enjoyed even more than being on camera was giving other people opportunities to achieve their dreams. So, hiring Tahir and Meg to do the drop, or, this person to help their reel, or paying for somebody's thing, like all those opportunities, opening those doors for people gave me more sense of value than like being funny in a video. And I think the same thing with Keep Your Distance. Although I am a stand-up comedian, right, and I enjoy making people laugh, and I think that's my desire. I like to entertain people, make them laugh, make them have a good time. But my purpose is I found more value as a person introducing these comedians to this audience. So when people are like, yo, your show allowed me to have my biggest YouTube video, or I got booked, or this happened, or you helped me remind people that I'm good. Like, I get more good feeling about that, or feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, is probably a better way of saying it, than like when I've had a good set on that same show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, when I'm killing on stage, I'll be like, oh, this is it. But when people are like, come on, keep your distance, especially a small comedian who people don't hear of, and they kill, and they are like, bruh, this opened so many doors. That's what I feel like, okay, this is what you're supposed to be doing. And that's what I want to continue to do. Even if I was a millionaire, billionaire, whatever, or just 100,000-aire, whatever the case is, I still would want to be like, how can I help you? Or maybe I could finance your short film if I don't have, a lot of money. But I think that's my desire versus my purpose.
Very good. Angel?
My purpose has been very clear to me for a very long time. And that has always been, showcasing myself in a way that makes someone else love themselves more and be comfortable with their authentic self. That is all, like, that keeps me doing stuff. Even like with the mentorship program I have that's helping other mom influencers with their content. At the end of the day, it's not that I have any secret ingredient or recipe that's helping them, but what I'm really trying to get them to do is get out of their heads about who they are and trying to make themselves into something that they're not actually comfortable being, but like truly being okay with who they are, and being also okay with if they want to improve down the line, but being okay where they're at in the moment and knowing that they are enough right now and they can continue to improve. The desire that gets me caught up is stats. I am very much so into, what is this number? Can I get this number higher? And that can be very, what was the word? Did you say insatiable?
Insatiable.
Yes. I am constantly like looking at my Instagram at 199K is murdering me every single day. I'm like, if you don't just get to 2,000 before the end of the year, or even like just trying to get to my silver play button on YouTube, that was just like, it taunted me. Now, did any of that matter in regards to my purpose? Absolutely not. I mean, might it show that I'm reaching more people in my purpose? Yes. But whoever God wants me to reach, he's going to allow me to reach. So it doesn't really matter what those numbers are. But I definitely know what my purpose is, and it makes it easier for me to make content. But those stats, they be beating my head up. Oof.
Marcus?
Yeah, so this is a much more difficult question for me, making this turn to a corner into something completely fresh and new. Because before, stepping away, of course, my first and foremost purpose, but I think y'all looking at it on a much broader scale, is like my family. My boys being able to do whatever they want and be able to make family out of it. However, that was the 9 to 5, which is still like a main goal. Like, none of us sitting here want to do anything outside of that. Like, we got more we want to do, but provide for our families and make sure that you're building that generational wealth. But I don't know if I don't think I can answer it right now, but just because it's so much that's changed over the past, since 2019, since we last sat down and talked about all of this, and that's I don't know, don't have an answer right now.
What's so interesting is that I think it's okay that you don't have an answer. I don't know that I do.
Don't have
either.
to be.
Give me an answer right now,
I can't
Marcus.
force you.
Give it.
Oh, I can't force you. But the other thing, very good book, so I'm going to use one more quote that he says, is that being able to identify, let me find it. Clarifying what you don't want allows you to pursue what you do.
Will?
Oh shoot, I didn't write it down. Why didn't I write it down? That was dumb. But anyway, something along those lines. And so what I think sometimes, though, is that we have to go the wrong way sometimes if we're unclear, in order to figure out, like, I need to do a U-turn. A logical Thursday.
Theological Thursday.
Oh, theological.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Say what? The Bible arguments. Delete.
But I also think about when I first started on YouTube, I was trying to do makeup videos. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. But what would happen was, and this is sometimes where the intertwining of your desire and your purpose can sometimes, they get fuzzy, is that you sometimes can be good at something. I am good at makeup. I'm no professional, but I can get the job done. And I think, this must be it.
Yeah.
And it's not always. And so I think we often find ourselves in a position where we feel the need to capitalize on something simply because we're good.
Yeah. I find that to be true a lot more than not. Like, even when, like with me, people's like, oh yeah, you should build stuff. It's like, yeah, I'm good at that, but I don't want to do that. I'm good at it. Yes. I was talking to Chance about that. He was like, yeah, basketball, love teaching these kids, but is that what I actually want to do? I don't know yet.
And I think for a lot of men, it's hard for them to separate their purpose from their job.
Absolutely.
Where it feels like, my purpose, like even what
provide.
Marcus even said with his 9 to 5, he could change several jobs, but his purpose should always still be the same. But that's always something that he's always said he struggled with, trying to figure out what that is, especially disconnecting from how he's making money,
I 100% went through the exact same thing. When I left my job, I was like, well, God, now what do I do? Because I did define purpose in terms of my job, being good at it, and being able to support my family. Well, now you take that away from me, and it almost feels like you're stripping some of my identity. And so you have to recreate that, and you're starting from ground zero.
This is what I do. I provide.
Yeah.
This happens to professional athletes all the time. You have been doing one thing your whole life. You've been amazing at it, and now you're 35. And if you're not a football player, what are you? If you're not a basketball player, Even if you're in the broadcast booth, you're not on the field anymore.
That's what I was saying. They put them in that booth, and this is like, you don't belong there.
Right. That's
Like,
a separate
take some time
thing, separate skill. There's very few people who can do it. But to your point, it's like, you know, you were doing a job you were good at. Would you describe it as your purpose?
If you asked me in 2017, yes.
What about 2020?
I don't know anymore. You know why? I'm going through another pivot. I just talked about this in the book, and I was like, the number one, defining my purpose around my job. Then I quit that, and I'm like, okay, God, now what? The Love Hour podcast comes. I'm like, got it. It's the Love Hour podcast, and I'm going to expand that to the Love Hour conference. Fantastic. This feels very purposeful. COVID comes in.
What conference, nigga?
Takes the conference.
Ain't nobody going nowhere.
Takes the
And
conference.
this was
COVID came in and cleared out the table. It's like, pick it up.
You wanted to do this and this and this. COVID said, boop.
You were the
all
first
this.
people I thought of when COVID hit and all the big things were shutting down. I was like, oh, she
And
got
they was not
conference.
trying to let her out of that
They
contract.
did not let me out of that conference. I lost money on that conference.
Still lost.
Still lost because they kept like 25% of my deposits
It's in
still.
Joel
Jesus.
Osteen's toilet wall.
Correct. It sure is. It sure. Yeah, Melissa Fredericks. Yeah. Then
Give it back, Joel.
from that, I am now ending the Love Hour podcast, and I've been asking myself. I'm sorry, I'm hitting you.
I'm okay. This
Okay,
is how
great.
friends talk.
And
Especially her.
with the that black
African American urge to hit somebody
when I'm
laughing.
Correct. That's what we all do.
Melissa Frederick.
Yeah, I know.
Or when I'm trying to remember something, help
Yeah,
my mind.
there you go.
Tell me what I'm thinking
Right
about.
there on Angel Knee.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
exactly
Go
what I
ahead
said.
and get it.
Give me the power to remember what I'm thinking. As I'm ending this, I'm asking myself, well, God, what's next for me? What is this next evolution? And to be honest, I don't know. And I ask myself this question all the time, specifically in the last couple of weeks, because the Love Hour is ending like next week. I ask myself, what is the difference between quitting and completing?
Hey.
That's nice.
And I have to find the answer in 2 weeks because I'm either quitting this podcast or it is done. And I don't know that I have peace in that answer.
And let me tell you what makes
Today.
it harder for Melissa. Them people who do our ads, they email.
He emailed me just the other day.
Hey, are you sure?
Are you sure?
I mean, I got people trying to buy ads till next November. You got to. Is there anything? What if you do the hour of love? Okay, yeah, do the hour of love. We just gonna switch it. And I think if you're unsettled, even if you are settled, when somebody's like
Yes, when you're turning down money.
Correct.
money, and it's not hard.
Yeah.
Like I often think about this, like people like Steve Carell, right? When he leaves the office. That cannot have been an easy decision. Or people leaving SNL, like you have been killing this. You are making a lot of money, and you sure? And I know that network was like, what will it take? I know they threw the bank.
Oh, yeah.
Because they went for 2 more seasons without him.
Yeah.
They would have eased Jerry Seinfeld. Are you? They were having like 20 million. It was some astronomical
something
number.
ridiculous. Yeah.
And he was like, nah, man, I don't want to do that no more. But just because they didn't do it doesn't mean they didn't like wrestle with it.
Oh,
right? You know what I
yeah.
mean? Even when I stopped working with All Def, I was like,
Oh my God.
Listen, you know,
That
I
was
get it,
an
Kev.
internal-
I'll chase a check. And
Man.
they should be the net. They didn't quit me, and I'm still like, there's some more money in there. I'm going to go and get
the
it.
first time, even this time, I didn't really announce it, but I just don't be, making no huge announcement. But Melissa was like, boy, it's going back and forth. But I was like, I really got to focus on what I want to do. And, but all that, and that ain't even crazy, man. I don't know how Steve did it. And Melissa, I'd be like, I applaud you, because I would have been like, the Love Hour is just interviews now. I'm going to get a guest every week. I'm going to get a producer. But I think it's commendable to me to stop something, especially when you don't exactly know what your next step is, and still being like, I'm going to do something else.
Will Smith says it's ending it with dignity and pride. He talks about, very good book if I haven't talked about it enough. He talks about good times. They ended in James Amos' character was killed off. Okay. And then it ended like in the middle of the season. They didn't get a finale. They didn't get closure. It was just kind of like, okay, show's done. Say it again.
Oh,
We're going to
talk
that
about
next.
Yeah.
We can end on this. Although I did have one question, but we don't have to answer it. I
Go
won't
on,
say,
go with the
we won't
question.
repeat it. Don't worry. I don't
We're
think they
going
can
with
hear
the
you.
question. Come on, last guess.
No. Hold on. Let me finish this.
Oh, finish your thought.
That oftentimes we can drag out things, and I don't want it. He talks about this episode in Happy Days where the Fonz apparently was riding on a shark with a leather jacket on or something, and so they talk about after a show is beyond its prime, when did it ride the shark? When did they ride the shark? And he talks about in Will Smith, the Fresh Prince, is the episode where Alfonso Ribeiro, how you pronounce his last name, was holding guns, like carrying guns that season.
Yeah.
Do you
I
remember?
love that
Yeah, he
episode.
got. Yeah, I do too.
Which,
You thought that was riding the shark?
yeah, they think it was riding the shark because it didn't go with like.
His character.
Yeah,
That's true.
It was kind of antithetical.
That's
to the
when
character.
The Office, when the sound man was falling in love with Pam, I was like, all right, guys, let's just go ahead and pack it up.
Yeah.
And so you lose
you
the
guys are
opportunity
literally
of
breaking the
ending
whole
it.
show.
Exactly.
You know.
Oh, I'll ride a shark. That's that cancer in me. Pop, shark time. There's tornadoes and sharks and
That's
all
a-
types of things.
that's
They're
a-
supposed to be
Shark,
there.
thank you.
They can
thank
switch
you.
it out to Fast
Jump
and
in the shark.
Furious.
That is what it's called.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Go into space, not drag racing no more.
Yeah, that is me all day.
Kevin, don't you mess up your life because you be in there in a coma. I'm gonna be doing. Here's the thing with the mic to you. Go ahead, Kev, you is crazy.
Get what you think. Beep.
Boy, you done gave me 3 beeps. You know you acting crazy. This episode is brought to you by Policy Genius. We need to.
K with a crew. With a K. Yeah. That's me. I'll jump that shark, ride it, guns on. Absolutely.
In there moving his jaw like
I am leaving something with dignity and
Yeah.
pride. What is that?
Linda,
The
he needs
twins?
some more IVs.
I don't know nothing about that. Dignity and pride.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, that's hysterical. All right, that's it, you
What was the
guys.
last question, man?
It's deep. It's a question about if you think the dream is fragile and it causes you anxiety, and so you find yourself overworking in an effort to maintain it.
Yes.
Oh man.
That's that answer. Yes.
This. Let
I
me tell you
posted
what.
it in a way where you guys could say yes.
The streaming service. Somebody I was doing it asked me on Twitter because I couldn't sleep and I was done watching stuff. And somebody asked me, given the opportunity again, would you do a streaming service? And I was like, no, I would not. It is a hill. No, what's the opposite of a hill?
A mountain.
No, the other
valley.
Valley.
Oh,
It is
valley.
a pit. It is a financial pit. You are literally, quite literally. Thank you, Comedy Club. Deposit, withdraw, pay. And it was much harder than I literally have had the thought, this is why Hollywood be winning. 'Cause, nigga, it's nearly impossible to do this.
Yeah.
You try to compete with Netflix and then people compare you to Netflix. Like, why you only got 4 shows? We have $11. We literally have to wait till the money comes in to pay stuff. Ain't no $8 billion in stuff.
Right.
2 weeks ain't no tour.
Thank you so much, because now you're tapping on my anxiety.
Oh Lord.
That's the thing about touring. As exhausting as it is, the money be the money.
Yes.
It's like, but if you go out and do that for 8 months, you miss out on cinnamon
Everything.
rolls,
You miss out on everything.
soccer games, and robotics.
Meanwhile, we haven't really got together since then.
Right.
No, we
Continue,
haven't.
Angel.
Y'all
No,
been whining
I
about
wasn't
it.
done. I was.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
He's like,
me.
he's like, I still want to talk.
Sorry.
But the last part of what you're saying is fragile. Like, I absolutely, we talked about this later, but Melissa was like, the love hour is ending. And I was like, I will start a podcast. We got to keep that money going. Kevin interviews people. I'm going to be doing interviews with my nose bleeding. So, hey, man, this is my gardener. How you be cutting grass in those lines? They be straight, huh? I love grass.
Blood
This
drip-
episode is brought to you by grass.com.
Blood dripping out of his beard.
Ooh, my ear bleeding again. I wish I had
That is
Raycons.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Well, you know how it be.
That's hilarious.
You know, Apple products bleed my ears.
To the red
But
cards.
I think sometimes I work to like calm anxiety. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I cannot make people subscribe.
Right.
I cannot make people not share passwords. I hope against hope. I can't even really raise the price.
Yeah.
We had conversations about that. The doggone app folks lied to us. Oh, for every $5, you're going to get $5.
They lied.
Hey. Oh, yeah. Well, that's from us.
Yeah.
Apple going to take 30%. Apple's like, yeah, nigga, what you finna do?
Nothing.
Roku, all of them. But the point is, we need it to be 7. The point is, the dream is fragile. But sometimes I ask myself, is it like, it's the saying from Cool Runnings, peace be the journey. Like, it will never be as hard as it was the first year, right? And hopefully in 5-10 years, we'll look back and be like, whoo, remember that first 2 or 3 years? We was like, bro, we don't even know if this is gonna work. Like, that's the thing about a dream. There is no certainty.
No.
The app isn't even the biggest leap I've ever done. That tour,
The
first one, whew. You talk. The documentary was called
Calculator.
If that thing failed, well, I work at All Deaf until I die. Boy, I'll make the plane.
I was
guys.
going back to Bowie.
I'm going back.
Listen, me and Melissa own another house. If this don't work out, you got to go, and we got to live here. We're going to be living in Greenbow, Alabama. Like, we got to just in case this don't work out. Our house in Washington, hey, the lease is up. Why? Nigga, it didn't work, okay? We live back here because the mortgage is affordable.
You letting them know that when you walk up to the door, hey, you ain't got to get your stuff and get out.
JoJo, it was nice. Y'all share
Come
with
up
me. Shut
with
up.
2 moving trucks, one with your stuff and one for their stuff. Y'all just put that stuff up in there.
Yeah, just
Go
count it
ahead.
all joy.
No, that's yours.
Yeah, put your stuff.
Put your stuff in this one.
Get
We live in
out.
Washington again. I mean, we really didn't know.
Yeah.
Like, we really did not. Me and Melissa were talking about this. We didn't know the tour was going to work until like 4 months into it.
Jesus.
We sat there and was like, okay, we can pay Tony into here now. Finally. They didn't know. They was like, this is going great. We were like, well. I'm so grateful COVID didn't hit. Woo!
That's crazy.
Woo! But for me, somebody else asked me this today, like, do you live within your regret? And I don't. Because everything I do with full intention. And if I fail, I can live with failure.
Yeah.
Like, if the app fails, I hope it doesn't. Don't get me wrong. But if it fails, I'll be like, man, that was crazy, huh? These shows are now on YouTube. We're going back on tour. It was 7,000 cities. Kev on Stage is in Northwest Oklahoma at Jimmy Tom's Milk Shack. Hey, y'all.
These flights are crazy, ain't they?
You know, Tiger King. We got 6 more shows tonight. But I'm grateful that at least if, given everything that could go wrong, people still want to see me live. I always have stuff to fall back on. Yeah. And I still hope it works. And I think that's the thing about a dream. Like, if you knew it would work, it wouldn't be as satisfying to go for it.
Yeah, and everybody will be doing it.
Yeah. So we're going for it.
They fine.
That's
If
different.
you're rich and white, none of this stuff
wish
applies.
I found it
back to what I
I don't
said
think
at the
they can
beginning.
appreciate what we can appreciate. Like
Yeah.
you were talking about with Bill Gates.
Yeah.
They didn't have if this doesn't work.
Yeah, they
I
didn't
don't
start in
make
the
it.
pit. They started on level or above ground.
If he never found GoPro, he'd still be surfing around with his mom and dad's
Right.
money. He don't know what it's like to be like, what if we got to move back?
Right.
That's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, did you guys want to answer and then we can wrap up?
Fragile, yes. I've been out here since 2006, chasing a dream that loves to come up and make out with me and then punch me in the face.
So abusive.
It is a tumultuous relationship.
Hey, Angel.
I mean,
Eat the cake,
it be
anime.
punching me square in my face, and I have to get up and shake it off, or I don't have to get up, but I keep choosing to, and I don't know why. But that's the same thing I felt about when I started creating content on YouTube 13 years ago. I kept saying, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm going to keep doing it. Eventually, it'll make sense. So I'm hoping that blind, stupid faith also pays off with this dream of me being an actress out here. I mean, yes, it's paid off some. I work, I make money, but it's sometimes I'm like, is it worth the heartache and embarrassment it has caused me in the past? I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, I have no idea. So it is fragile because I know that it could go any way, and it's all about, is it worth it? Yeah.
Worth it.
Yeah. So where before I hated that career, I was like, man, your career is stupid. Your dream is stupid, but I'm gonna support you. but it's all good. You ain't got to worry. Now I'm like, no, you better make something happen.
You know what you sound like? Did y'all see that video where the guy brought his wife breakfast? Here's your breakfast. Now leave me alone. Don't talk to me. Okay, bye. I'm not finna start with you. You messed with me last night. I make this breakfast to make peace with you. Okay, bye. Y'all ain't seen that?
No.
They sound like they've been married for a long time.
Yeah.
It was don't listen. Don't talk to me. I love you.
Yeah. Well, it's like before it's just like, all right, now we got to learn how to pivot this together versus, well, you go ahead and pivot. I'll see you after work.
Right.
I can't do that no more.
Yeah, no, but I do definitely feel like I now have at least one part of my career under control that I felt comfortable being like, okay, come on. You come on with me. But before I would have been like, I don't care what job you got as long as it's a job.
Yeah.
You be on it.
Yeah.
Anything you wanted to add?
Nah.
Thank you
Okay.
for having us.
You came off that job this year, man.
Yeah. May
that been
27th. What's it like? Oh, so much better. Then I enrolled in elementary school.
Y'all had a nickname for y'all. It was Stable something. It was employed on the first Love Hour. We were called
The Kites.
No, that was not
We were the
first.
strings.
No, that wasn't that one. She didn't have kites and strings at the time. It was something you made up.
I ain't no telling.
It was like stable-shuaries instead of entrepreneurs.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
something else.
Kevin clowned me, and then he ended up using it. Hold up. Entrepreneur.
I wish I
I don't
remember.
remember.
Oh well, we'll figure it
Somebody
out.
watch the episode and text it to us.
Anyways, thank you for having us,
Thank
Melissa.
you guys for joining us for this
Thank y'all for
conversation.
having
These are my favorite. I enjoyed it a lot, actually. Thank you guys so much for joining us for today's episode of Love Hour. Until the next one. Bye. Bye.